If you picked up one of these amazing LG's OLED displays, I'm gonna go ahead and show you some hidden features, some tips and tricks you could do. What is this? I guess you'll call it WebOS TV. That's what LG is naming them. Basically, if your TV has this pointer, here are some hidden features that you should know about. What's going on, everyone? So yes, very recently I picked up this, and during my time of ownership, I learned a lot of things and made a couple of mistakes. A very fine example, a recent video I made reviewing this television on the next generation gaming consoles. I said you cannot shortcut some of these buttons to be reprogrammed to open up different applications and inputs. Well, I was wrong, because you totally can. Because on the remote, one of the key features you can do is if you press and hold any of the numbers 1 through 9. So we're gonna go ahead and open up Netflix, and we're gonna go ahead and set this one to be number 4. So by simply pressing and holding down on the remote, a card will pop up like so. Press yes, and now Netflix has been added to Axis 4. And then if you press and hold the 0, this little card will pop up, and you could delete them if you decide you don't want it anymore. Or you can manually add new ones right here and reorganize everything. So now let's say, for example, we want to go to Twitch. Since I already had Twitch on number 3, press and hold, it'll immediately switch to the app. And you could do the exact same thing on inputs as well, like HDMI 1 through 4. Another awesome feature that this TV can provide is a quick shortcut to get to the LG menu. Is if you take the remote and you hold down this little plug icon right here, hold it down for a few seconds, it'll quickly switch to this page. If you live in an Apple household ecosystem, you have to set up HomeKit. By simply going in this menu, go to AirPlay and HomeKit settings, and right under HomeKit right here, if you haven't set this up yet, it'll basically just say set up HomeKit. When you click on here, grab one of your Apple devices that has the Home app application already installed, like your iPhone or iPad. Scan the QR code and follow the on-screen instructions. And now your television is paired to your Apple account. What this basically allows you to do is, I'm gonna go ahead and screen record this, but if you don't have the remote in your control center set up yet, just hop into your settings real quick, go into control center, and just go ahead and add it. I'm gonna remove it just to give you an example how to do that. Add it, hit the little line icon on the side, and rearrange it like so. Just exit out of this. Now if you bring on your control center, the remote's right here. And now, on our phone, you have full control of your television. The controller takes a while to get used to, but if you tap back, you have access to your applications right here. And every time when you press, it gives you a haptic feedback. So the screen is responsive, and literally you could do anything from your iPhone and control all the important stuff from your phone screen. And yes, volume control is also enabled. As long as the control center application is still running, the volume rockers would actually adjust the volume on your television, which is quite nice. And of course, there's additional settings to this. If you have the HomeKit section enabled on your iPhone, you will actually see the television right there, and you could actually control it to turn it on or off, all off the control center right here. But not only that, if you long press, you can actually switch between your inputs. So you can switch between live TV, Xbox, but that's how you can switch between different inputs as well. And of course, you could verbally ask Siri to turn on or turn off the TV as well if you have like a HomePod, or just use Siri on your phone. Then in addition to that, you can mirror pretty much anything displayed on your iPhone, an iPad, or if you're using a Mac computer, you can stream that display to the television. And on a computer, you could also allow it to mirror, or you can use that as an extension to your monitor, just like so. Then if you're using an Android device, the television does have a built-in Chromecast, just it doesn't mirror it, unfortunately, like you can with an iPhone. But you can still cast whatever supported cast application like YouTube, Netflix and such to the television by hitting that little square icon and just select the television. Now, a cool tip that I found out that you could do with this TV is if you take the remote and if you quickly, instead of tapping on the gear icon once, if you actually long press and hold, it's a quicker shortcut to get to this part of settings instead of how you will traditionally just open up this small menu. So again, if you long press the gear icon, you'll hop directly to this part of the settings. But under energy saving mode, if you click on here, click off screen, it's gonna start a 5-second timer. But when it does this, the display is turned off, but it will continue playing the audio. This is perfect if you're just leaving your TV on standby mode while you're listening, let's say, to music on YouTube. So this is just an energy efficient way to turn off the display without turning off the entire TV. And just press any button on the remote and it'll wake back up. In addition to that, important settings to leave on, I recommend, is if you go back to your settings, go into support, go into software update, double check and make sure that this is turned on. So it can always update automatically. Now, in case you're buying this TV online from a third party, but they're listing it to be brand new, when you receive your TV, or if you're buying this TV used, if you hop into your settings again and go into support, go into TV's information, right here you'll see all the important information there is to know about the TV, but right below here, if you notice, it tells you the total amount of hours the television was turned on. Underneath that is also the storage capacity in case it's running slow. This is where you can see what's going on, so you can delete some of these applications. Knowing the hour amount is perfect if you're buying this TV used, or if you're buying it new from a third-party seller. This way you can verify indeed if the TV is new or not, or it's not like a display floor model. Now, a cool feature about this TV is its AI learning technology. By default, this stuff is basically turned off, but if you want to go ahead and enable this, just go into General, go into AI Services, and right here is where you could actually enable some of this stuff. So I have it on AI Control this TV to automatically adjust the color accuracy and such depending on the input or the application that you're using. And for my personal experience, it works surprisingly very well. Now, still in our General tab, this remote does have a built-in microphone, so it does have a virtual voice assistant. And if you're unsure what it could do, still in our General tab, right below here, if you point at your cursor in voice recognition, help and settings, it'll basically show you everything you could do. And yes, you do have the Google Voice virtual assistant. But let's say, for example, if you have Amazon Prime, or you just want to use Alexa instead, by pressing on the shortcut button for Prime Video on the controller, it will not only take you to your Prime Video application, but if you press and hold that said button, you can set up Amazon Alexa and just follow the on-screen instructions. And now everything is going to be synced with everything you have made already scheduled, or your notifications that you're receiving if you already are using Alexa in your household. I don't want to go ahead and set that up, but that's how you could set up Alexa on this television and just use the built-in microphone found on the controller. Now, unfortunately, this TV, LG apparently loves to do this. By default, there's actually is ad tracking, and I recommend everybody to go ahead and disable this, unless you're okay of LG to continue making profit off of you, even though you already bought the product. By going back in your setting, by pressing and holding the gear icon again on the controller, by going into your General tab once more, go into additional settings, scroll down, they really try to hiding this from us, go to advertisement, and just go ahead and enable limit ad tracking. Unfortunately, you cannot turn it off completely, but you could go ahead and limit it. And in addition to that, if you go down back here, there is a do not sell my personal information. Make sure you have this enabled as well, because LG isn't cutting us a commission for them to use our information to sell, for them to continue making profit. You gotta love corporate companies, I swear, for trying to hide this type of information on us. Additional settings you can adjust is the pointer size. If you're not satisfied with the pointer size that is found on default on your TV, there's 3 choices to choose from. If you want to go ahead and make it shrink it down a bit, in the General tab once more, on top you see pointer option. And here, you not only can select the speed, I'm just gonna leave it on normal, that's what I'm comfortable with, but you can select the different pointer size that you want. I like this one, that's my personal preference, but feel free to experiment and find a preference that you personally like. And in case you don't know how to enable the pointer, there's 2 methods to quickly get access to the TV pointer. The first method is by simply just scrolling on the scroll wheel in the center of the controller. It will immediately access it like so. Second way, you can also pick up the controller, shake it a bit in front of the screen, and the pointer will pop up. So those are the 2 different ways to have access to the pointer. Now, we already know that this TV has applications. You can scroll through it just like so, but if you want to reorganize things, just press and hold on the app like this. And then from here, you can literally just click and drag the application to reorganize it. And you can also delete it as well. if you decide you don't want some of these apps. And in addition to that, you could also add a YouTube channel for some reason. So you could type in a YouTube Dude Perfect, I guess. You could click on their channel, hit the little plus, and now for some reason, add their YouTube channel in the front part of your application homepage. Another cool thing you could do, let's take our PlayStation 5. We're just gonna go ahead and turn it on. If we take our cursor and you point where it says PS5 or the HDMI name, you can verify and see the information of that device. So like the resolution, the ratio, if it's HDR, you can check all that right here, including the time. But in addition to that, click on here, you can actually rearrange where you want to see this information off the corner of the display. So if we want it to show us this information permanently, just click and drag it. And now, whenever you switch to different inputs, it's always going to give us that information right there. Just a nifty way to personalize your device and a quicker way to see what type of resolution or other information there is to know about that input device. And then of course you have this beautiful art gallery. If you don't want to say no signal or whatever, this is an application that's already pre-installed on the TV. It's called Art Gallery, and you can literally select and download different photos, gallery, masterpieces you want to play. It's kind of like a screensaver. It looks awesome. It plays audio. If you press and hold, you can actually see more information on what song is playing. And in addition to that, you can also see like the picture frame information by simply just clicking on the centerpiece of the controller. Other than that, that basically wraps up everything that there is to know about this LG WebOS TV operating system that these TVs come equipped with. If you learned something new, make sure to hit like. Not only that, get subscribed, as I cover a lot of tech content very similar to this. Again, if you'd like to see that review of this LG TV, minus that mistake that I corrected in this video, you can go ahead and watch this video over there as I go ahead and share with you my experience, what I think about this oversized TV so far. And then that video over there, that's just a video that YouTube is recommending specifically for you. Thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.